Hello YouTube friends and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Deidre from Our Upcycled Life. I do lots of thrifting, upcycling, repurposing, and DIY content, and I love new crafting friends. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification so you don't miss any great DIY content. And also, if you're on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, if you go down into the description, I have all the links there because I love new friends over there because you can send me pictures of the projects that you've been working on. And I would love to see them because I always get inspired by other people's work, and I hope that I inspire you with some of the work that I'm doing. So let's connect over on those other social media outlets also. I have all kinds of tutorials on my channel of different finishes that you can make to create vintage and chippy and awesome looking wood. But this one is seriously the fastest and easiest one. And I'm going to show you today how you can create this look and take your projects to the next level. It's super easy, super simple. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can take these pieces of wood. They were just scrap pieces of wood that I found in the wood pile, and they're kind of stained and old. But what I did was I really chunked them up around the sides. I took a hammer and kind of banged in little notches in them. I even took a utility knife and kind of rounded the edges a little bit and made them really kind of rough and rustic looking. And I'm going to do a technique to make these look really old and chippy with paint. And all you're going to need to do this DIY is some white paint, any kind of white paint. You can use latex, acrylic, you can use chalk paint, whatever you have that you want to use up, and some Minwax stain. The darker the color, probably the better. What I had on hand right now is golden oak, so I'm going to use that. And you need a scraper and just some paper towel because it does get a little bit messy. The first thing that we want to do is put on some of the stain. I'm just going to put on some plastic gloves, and I'm just going to use a little old rag, and I'm going to completely coat both these pieces of wood. And you can see as I'm doing this, it's bringing out all of the little bumps and everything that I created when I was really distressing it. And this technique, if you have a darker stain, works really well too. But like I said, this golden oak was the only color that I had on hand right now. So, and it's going to work perfect for me showing you this technique. Now this actually, these poor old gloves have seen better days. This actually looks really cool, just left like this. If you wanted to even leave your project just kind of stained, and you can see how I've made it really rustic and took the hammer and made little bumps and grooves in it and really sanded it down so it looks really aged. But I'm going to do a second step to show you how you can make it look like old painted wood. Okay, I am going to put one more coat on the stain on the wood so it's nice and wet. You want to have this really wet. You don't want the stain to be dry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gloves off. I'm going to get my white paint, and you want to use a paintbrush that's not a good one because this is going to mix in with the oil-based stain, and it'll be garbage when you're done, unless you wanted to wash it all out, but I don't really want to. You're just going to dip your white paint into it and just spread it all across the wood. And as you're doing that, the paint will mix in with the stain. And you're just going to let it sit on there for a minute. You want to kind of glob it on here and there. And we're just going to let it sit for a few minutes, and then we're ready for the next step. Okay, this is sat for a few minutes. Now I'm just going to take my scraper, and you're just going to scrape the top of that surface off. That's where you want to have a little piece of paper towel, and you can wipe off the excess that you're scraping off. and you can see the paint stays in all those little nooks and crannies and makes a really cool aged painted look. And we'll just do the second one. Oh, this one's got some really neat texture to it too. You never know what you're gonna get. You just kind of just do it, and that's what old wood is like. You never know what kind of old wood is going to come up looking like after it's aged. Almost, this kind of almost gives it like a whitewashed look, and I love it. And when you look up close, you can see where all those little nooks and grooves are. The paint has stayed in there, but I've scraped it off on the surface, and it just gives it like a really weathered painted look. And now I'm just going to work away on the other sides and finish off these boards. And this would be so cool to play around with different colors too. I'm thinking maybe my next one, I will do a really dark stain and then maybe do like a turquoise on top and scrape it off. I think that would look really cool too. I just love experimenting and finding different ways that you can age wood. And this seriously has been the most easy that I have done so far. And it's that easy to take a new piece of wood and make it look old and vintage and chippy. And I just had some spindles laying around. I cut them to fit the bottom, made them into little shelves, and I think it turned out fantastic. And it's so easy. Let me know if you've ever tried this technique before. And thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I love to read them. I'll be sharing so many more DIY, thrifting, repurposing videos, so if you aren't already following along, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and that will let you know when I upload my next video. See you real soon. Take care and have a great day.